This week, we're painting all the interior parts on my 1990 MasterCraft with a dye product. Let's get busy and check it out. Today I'm trying to get all this old vinyl parts ready for my paint. I have been working on some vinyl repairs and some of the little nicks and cracks on the seat and on the side panels. And it's going all right. I'm having some challenges with the vinyl repair. I am trying to follow the instructions, and the instructions are good. It's just, I guess my expectations might be too high, but the spots are small, and I'm not too worried about it once I get it painted over. So anyway, now I'm going to be tearing into the seat here. And if you remember, I was trying to get the seat to move. I was pulling it up for these back holes, and I couldn't get it to move very well. So I'm going to take it apart, see if I can't free up the tracks a little bit, see what's happening underneath here. For those of you that have a similar boat and want to know what it looks like under here, I thought I would let you check this out. So here is that panel. I'm sure I can clean that up really nice. And here is our track and a release. Yeah, they're just nasty. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull the track. Well, it might be easier said than done. Okay, yeah, I can get that one off. Yeah, I can get them to move. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take these tracks off and just really clean them up good. Put some fresh grease in there. Degreaser. All right, looking good. Okay, welcome back to the shop. I am unpacking my vinyl dye, or paint. I like to call it paint, but it's technically a dye product. And this is the Sim brand paint, just like you find in a rattle can. Find this in most auto parts stores. But because I couldn't find the color I wanted to match my new upholstery work, I took this little scrap from my upholstery shop down to automotive paint shop that carries the Sim brand, and they mixed me up a quart, and it's going to match really good. So I have 1 quart of material here, and I hope it's going to be enough to cover everything I've got to do. I've got the captain's chair, I've got the engine cover, and the side panels, and then a couple small parts. Let me show you my makeshift paint booth. Here's my paint booth. And I've got my plastic around there. I'll walk you in and show you how I got everything laid out. I'm just getting ready to wipe everything down. And I do this because I don't want a bunch of overspray all over my shop. And so I've got a light hanging up here. It's pretty rough, but I've done this before. So here's my side panels. They're ready to go. I'm just going to wipe them down. I went ahead and did a couple of these repairs, and they're all right. I think they're going to be fine once everything is painted. I just need to get another season out of these things, I guess. Here's the small parts I'm going to do. This is where the cup holders are on the back of the engine cover. This is the armrest next to the captain's chair. And then these are the little decorative pieces that go on the side panels. And I'm just going to paint over these stars. I was going to try to mask them off because I actually got the blue back in that, but I couldn't get it back in this one. They've been painted over before. These used to be the gray that I'm going back to. Somebody painted them white. They've held up really good. But I'm going to take them back to this gray. It's the original color, and that's the color I've got on my new upholstery. So it'll be all right. But I don't got a lot of space to work with, so I'm going to have to be really careful that I watch my hose and I don't drag it across anything, or I don't bump anything with my body as I walk around here. It's pretty small. Yeah, this stuff is really, really thin. It's not like regular automotive paint, which is good because I was a little bit worried whether I was going to get it through my tip here. Go in here. I'm just going to do a little test shot on some cardboard and see how it looks. Commit to actually spraying the parts unless I am certain I'm going to have luck here with this gun. All right, it's looking pretty good. Let me take a break here. I'm going to go wipe down all the parts with some wax and grease remover. Oh. See. And it looks like we used every bit of that material. So I poured the perfect amount in there. I actually got 2 nice coats on there. Looks good. So still flirting with danger though, whether I'm going to make it. I think I will. Went on really nice though. That gun did a good job. And I'm happy with how it's looking. Okay, the side panels are now painted. They turned out pretty good. The paint matches very well. The coverage was great. So I went ahead and got the rest of that engine cover masked off. So just walked around, checked it out, wiped it down with some wax and grease remover. And now I'm going to use my precious half a quart plus a little paint, and I'm going to pray and hope that I can get all of this covered. I'm gonna start with the engine cover because I want that to be done so I can get the carpet on it if I have to wait for more paint. So I'll walk you through there really quick. All right, engine cover, ready to go. I got a little bit of light in here, but not as much. I wasn't happy with the lighting, so I'm gonna wear a headlamp when I shoot this next section here. Here's this purple tape. Looks like it's holding up pretty good. I pulled the handle off. This is the band that goes around up here, and it's stapled on over the carpet. And I want to get some paint on that too, so I basically just screwed it to the bottom apron here. Oh, I also need to cover up this just a little bit more. I don't want to get paint on my my nice cart, so I'm going to put a little more paper around that. I got the seats laid out here, and then the chair ready to go. I got just enough room to maneuver around here if I'm very careful. A little bit of a risk here, and I'm not going to use a filter for this because I don't want to waste any of this paint. And so I don't want too much of the paint to get caught up in that filter. I need every drop I can get. So we're going rogue here. Oh, this is actually quite a bit more than on the first pass. So last time I had a half a cup, and this is a little more than, well, it's almost a full cup. Wish me luck. See you on the other side. Take two. All right, everything's out of my makeshift paint booth. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I had just enough material to cover everything. But all that being said, this looks great. Everything just looks fantastic. The seat looks awesome. And I mean, it's incredible. It looks as good as my brand new stuff over there. It certainly won't last as long, I'm sure. But this will certainly carry me through the season, or maybe a couple seasons. Let's get this tape off here and see how I did on my masking. I think what I'm going to do is try to get some hobby paint, and I'm going to paint this blue star in here, especially on my side panels, because they still actually have thread from the monogramming in there, and I could find some hobby paint like they paint t-shirts with, and just really carefully paint that in. I think it'd look really cool. That works, but that's cool. Looks awesome with that blue stripe. Let's take the masking off the engine cover. You gotta be careful because I've got this band here. So I'm putting the tracks back on this seat. You watch me take it apart, and I was having a difficult time moving these, but I've since cleaned them up. But here's the problem. The reason I couldn't get it to go all the way forward. This base has warped over the years, and the track is actually digging right into the seat. It's grabbing the upholstery right here, and it just won't clear it. And that's because this is just has warped inward. So my fix for that is I'm grabbing a couple of these little nylon spacers. So what I'm doing is I'm just sticking a spacer under here and bringing it up a 1/2 inch. I went and got some longer bolts down at the hardware store, and that allows me to clear it by, on this side it looks like it'll clear by 3/8. This side still might be a little close, even with the spacer. So we'll see how that works out. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what happens when I lift this up 1/2 inch. All right, so that cleared about a good 1/4 inch now. All right. So if you're having difficulty sliding your seat, it could be a couple things, probably your tracks. If you haven't done anything with those in 30 years, they're not gonna move very well. So clean them up as best you can with degreaser, gasoline, or whatever you need to do to get in there. Can't get these apart, but you can keep sliding it back and forth and getting the degreaser in there and just flush it out as well as you can. And then I just loaded it up with grease. There are these 2 metal rollers. They're not like ball bearings, but they're just a wheel that rolls loosely in here. And there's a lot of grease in there, so those roll really well. This side is just a little tighter. But I know it'll be fine once I'm sitting on it. I think that worked out just fine. Got the slides working well. Got the seat raised up almost 1/2 inch. I think that'll be just fine. It's going to allow it to slide a lot more freely. And so now what I'll do is I'll play around with this paint that I picked up at Hobby Lobby and see about painting this MasterCraft Prostar back on the seat and on the side panels. So let's see how that turns out. I looked at it very closely before, but it looks like it's a little crooked. Let's see if I can't raise this one up a little bit. Much better, much better. Okay. I believe I need to do some stapling here. Yeah, I'm missing a few staples over here. There's a little Harbor Freight pneumatic staple gun. I've had this for a few years. It held up just fine. It's cheap. Sometimes you can get some great stuff at Harbor Freight. Kind of stuff you don't need to use every day, but when you need it, you got it. So you need to do a little shoring up on this. A little warped. I'll see what I can come up with here for that. Found these little brackets laying around. So I think what I'll do is I'll just put one here, bring this together. Put one here, and then I'll just put the carpet right over the top of it. one leg is a little long, so I'm just going to cut a little off here. Okay. That'll buy me a little more time. So far so good on the hobby paint here. It's really close to the right color, and I'm just taking my time and just dabbing it in these worn out threads here, just putting some color on it. I have no idea if it's going to hold up to the sun, but this is designed for like tennis shoes and t-shirts and that kind of stuff. So I can always do it again. I know what you're thinking. You've watched 4 episodes of the MasterCraft Prostar carpet project, and you're asking yourself, when is this guy going to put carpet in the boat? The answer is next week. I'm cutting up carpet, and the carpet's going to be glued in the boat. Project's going great. The interior parts turned out awesome. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and we will catch you on the next video.